Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to Timeless Man. Walking became an important part of my own recovery. I began it for my heart, my strength, and my emotional well-being. But research suggests that regular movement may also support the health of our brain as we grow older.
Every 3 seconds, someone in the world develops dementia. That staggering number represents millions of families watching their loved ones slowly fade away, losing memories, personalities, and independence. Dementia is not a single disease, but rather an umbrella term covering a range of neurological conditions, with Alzheimer's disease being the most common form. It strips away the ability to think clearly, remember faces, and perform the simplest daily tasks. Scientists have spent decades searching for a cure, pouring billions of dollars into pharmaceutical research, yet no definitive treatment has emerged. One of the simplest ways to support your health may already be available to you: walking, completely free of charge. It requires no prescription, no gym membership, and no special equipment. It is simply walking. The idea that something as ordinary as putting one foot in front of the other could protect the brain from one of the most devastating conditions known to medicine sounds almost too good to be true. Yet the science behind it is growing stronger with every passing year, and the findings are nothing short of extraordinary. To understand how walking helps, it is important to first understand what dementia actually does to the brain. In a healthy brain, billions of neurons communicate through a complex network of electrical and chemical signals. These connections allow us to form memories, solve problems, recognize loved ones, and navigate the world around us. In dementia, particularly Alzheimer's disease, abnormal protein deposits called amyloid plaques and tau tangles begin to accumulate between and within brain cells. These deposits disrupt communication between neurons, eventually causing them to die. As more neurons are lost, the brain physically shrinks, and cognitive abilities deteriorate progressively. The hippocampus, which is the region of the brain most responsible for memory formation, is typically one of the first areas affected. Blood flow to the brain also decreases, depriving neurons of the oxygen and nutrients they need to survive. Inflammation within brain tissue compounds the damage further. What makes dementia particularly cruel is that these changes can begin developing in the brain up to 20 years before any noticeable symptoms appear. This long, silent phase is precisely where prevention becomes so critically important, and it is exactly where walking steps in as a powerful protective force. Research published in leading medical journals has consistently demonstrated that regular physical activity, and walking in particular, produces profound changes in brain structure and function. A landmark study conducted by researchers at the University of Pittsburgh found that adults who walked regularly over a period of 1 year actually increased the size of their hippocampus by approximately 2%. In a population where the hippocampus typically shrinks by 1 to 2% annually due to aging, this finding was revolutionary. Walking triggers the release of a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often referred to as the brain's fertilizer. This protein promotes the growth of new neurons, strengthens existing neural connections, and helps protect brain cells from damage. Walking also improves cerebral blood flow, ensuring that the brain receives a steady supply of oxygen and glucose. Furthermore, walking has been shown to reduce levels of amyloid plaques in the brain, directly targeting one of the primary biological mechanisms behind Alzheimer's disease. One of the most common questions people ask is how much walking is actually necessary to gain these brain protective benefits. The encouraging answer is that the threshold is surprisingly accessible.
In one large observational study, about 3,800 daily steps was associated with a 25% lower incidence of dementia, while the strongest association was seen at approximately 9,800 steps. This does not prove that walking alone prevented dementia, but it adds to the evidence that everyday movement matters.
For older adults or those with limited mobility, This is an incredibly hopeful finding. You do not need to be training for a marathon to protect your brain. A gentle 20-minute walk through the neighborhood, a stroll through a local park, or even walking laps inside a shopping center can all contribute meaningfully to long-term cognitive health. The key factor appears to be consistency rather than intensity, making walking one of the most democratic and inclusive forms of brain protection available. Walking outdoors exposes people to natural environments, which research has shown independently reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Chronic stress is a known risk factor for cognitive decline, as elevated cortisol levels can damage the hippocampus over time. By lowering stress, walking creates a hormonal environment that is far more conducive to long-term brain health. Activity may also support better sleep. Healthy sleep plays an important role in memory and the brain's normal waste clearance process. Social walking adds yet another layer of benefit. When people walk with friends, family members, or community groups, they engage in conversation, laughter, and shared experience. Social engagement is one of the most consistently identified protective factors against dementia, and combining it with physical activity creates a powerful dual benefit. Even the act of navigating a new walking route engages spatial memory and problem solving, providing gentle cognitive stimulation that keeps the brain actively working. The most important step in any journey is simply the first one, and the same is true when it comes to protecting your brain through walking. Starting small is not only acceptable but scientifically supported. Beginning with just 10 minutes of walking per day and gradually increasing the duration over several weeks allows the body and mind to adapt comfortably. Choosing routes that are enjoyable and varied helps maintain motivation over the long term. Walking in green spaces, along waterfronts, or through interesting neighborhoods adds sensory richness that further stimulates the brain. Wearing comfortable footwear, staying hydrated, and walking during cooler parts of the day in warmer climates are simple practical measures. Dementia may feel like an inevitable shadow looming over the aging process, but science is increasingly showing that the choices made today have a profound impact on the brain's future. Walking cannot guarantee that dementia will be prevented, but it's a simple habit that can support your heart, body, and brain.
It cannot guarantee that dementia will be prevented, but the evidence gives us another very good reason to keep moving. I don't walk because I believe it can protect me from every illness. I walk because each step supports many parts of my health: my heart, my mobility, my mood, and possibly my brain. Start with what you can manage and build from there. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.